Greetings, everybody. On today's video, we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to give you my D23 predictions. Let's roll that intro. Yeah, I wanted to try this out. I just had this idea. I've seen a lot of people kind of posting and making idea videos and predictions, and I was just like, oh, I want to in on this, and I want to share some of my thoughts, some of my ideas, and also make a space for everybody here to leave theirs in the comments down below. So you can be like, Jimmy, that's totally right. It's going to happen. Or Jimmy, no way. And then what I think I'll do is I'll make a follow-up video to this one. And yeah, you can kind of tell I'm in a new space here, kind of jumping in also in between all the vlogs I've been releasing from Walt Disney World. So please forgive me. But yeah, let's try this out. It's going to be fun. So today, basically, I wanted to kind of just stick to the stuff that I would know, more or less, like Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Yeah, I just want to bring up, I've got like notes here too. I was like, I want to make sure I remembered everything. And I do not have any sort of insider knowledge or anything like that. But I was like, all right, there's a few things I think they're definitely going to talk about and a few things I really hope they talk about. Let's start off in Walt Disney World, where there is a ton of stuff happening. And of course, we're going to go right down like the release order of the theme parks. Magic Kingdom first, Piston Peak, the Cars Land, all that stuff. I anticipate a deep dive into that. Not only will we see that kind of secondary attraction that they have not really talked about too much since then, but I think we're going to get a lot more information on the main attraction there too, and kind of more of a concrete feeling for what that land is going to look like. I feel like it's this really weird kind of controversial like thing because you lost like the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island space over there, but they were testing recently and they're checking out sight lines and everything, which is great because they do that all the time, but it's really nice to know, especially there, that they're going to try to do that. If Imagineering can pull off the miracle of not having sight lines be weird or bad for Magic Kingdom and a weird like mountain structure that looks like a piece of a car in the background of something that shouldn't be there in a different land, that'll be incredibly impressive. And honestly, I think they're the ones who can pull it off. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be them. So I think we're going to see a heck of a lot on that, on Piston Peak. That's kind of the big thing over in Magic Kingdom right now. Also, there are rumors of one of my beloved attractions, because they just keep going for them. I don't know what I did to deserve all of this, but Space Mountain, I think we'll get some sort of announcement on what they're thinking about doing. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that, because it's like, on one hand, yes, I want Space Mountain to stick around forever. It is a classic attraction. Maybe I'm misusing that term, but it's been there for ages. Just to put it in perspective for people, that Space Mountain is the original Space Mountain over in Florida, and it opened up in 1975. That was 2 years before Star Wars. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's the case. But kind of similar ride track to my beloved Matterhorn. We love the Matterhorn. I do anyway. And the kind of the bobsled style seating and the 2 tracks and everything. But I know over in Tokyo they are making like the most expensive Disney ride ever, and that is a new Space Mountain. So I don't know. Maybe it's just in the air. I don't know if it's a retrack. It could be very possible that it's that, or they could be trying to go more Disneyland route where it's side by side. I'm not sure. I think we'll get something about that because they are showing a renewed investment in all of those older attractions and either doing re-themes to them or complete overhauls. And I'm thinking this is going to be the overhaul. My hope is that no matter what they do, is that they just kind of keep it Space Mountain. It doesn't necessarily need to be any sort of different intellectual property. It can just be Space Mountain, because a lot of these intellectual properties, or IPs as we like to call them, started not as some sort of big franchise, or like they start like everything else, just a one-off, and then they become Pirates of the Caribbean, they become Haunted Mansion. So just at the very least, I'm hoping that Space Mountain retains its theme of just space. That's the hope anyway. That's kind of the big stuff for Magic Kingdom so far. At the very end of this, I'm going to throw in some really crazy things that will probably never happen, and one of them happens to be in the Magic Kingdom. We'll talk about it later. Also, yeah, maybe, guys, can we move the Hatbox Ghost? Can we maybe move him to a proper place? I don't know. Anyway, that's just in Magic Kingdom. Please, that'd be great. Epcot. Wonders of Life Pavilion. For a long time, so many rumors, so many things. They're going to make it the Play Pavilion. Hearing rumors of like Inside Out. It seems like a really good bet. I think they're going to do something with that building. The last time I was in it, it was during like Food and Wine Festival years and years ago, and they kind of just used it as like a convention space. I remember walking around there thinking like, wow, this is so weird, because I remember back in the day, like Body Wars and, Cranium Command were over there. So I think there is definitely something brewing over there, and Epcot has undergone so much of a transformation, especially mostly in the Future World segment, which I'm always going to still call it Future World. I'm so sorry. World Celebration, World Discovery, and World Nature. Is that... Did I get that right? I don't know if I got that right. If I did, then they got to me. But anyway, Future World has gone like through so much. But I think that kind of being like over to the side, it wouldn't be much of as an impediment as the huge overhaul that they did to that park. So at least half of that park. The rest of World Showcase, I'm sure we'll get some updates on some things. But unless we're getting dark rides at all those pavilions, I don't want to hear about it. I'm just kidding. I don't know if they even have the space for it, but that'd be fantastic. But yeah, and then also speaking of space, this is a very space themed episode. Mission Space. If Space 220 didn't exist, I would feel so much more confident in saying that Mission Space's days are numbered. Now, again, I don't have any insider information. I don't know anything. Who knows? But I just feel like Mission Space, even after the revitalization some years ago, it's just not it. And I don't know. The reason why, there's a few. Obviously, it's a very intense attraction. I know there's a diehard fan base for it, but it's pretty small. And they haven't tried to retheme it with another intellectual property. A few years ago, we were hearing like if Buzz Lightyear or that Lightyear film would have done better, maybe Space Mountain would have been rethemed. But this also would have been a great one for like a Buzz Lightyear retheme. Because they haven't rethemed it, and it's just kind of there. I don't know. I just don't know what protects it. And besides Space 220, that restaurant being there, but you could retheme that restaurant, and the amount of people that would lose their collective minds watching at home and then in person if they said we're bringing Horizons back, there would be chaos. People might rush the stage out of glee, out of just euphoria. So I don't know if it's going to get to that point, but I would love to see another kind of old school dark ride be resurrected, as it were. Which brings me to another one. This might be the year that the true demon of the park, our little purple dragon friend, you guys know him as Figment. I like to call him Fugmont. May or may not be getting the love he so desperately deserves. I grew up with this version that we have currently of the attraction. I even saw Journey into Your Imagination, I think, many years ago. But there's such a love, I think, for Figment and for the Dreamfinder. And Figment has been a consistent seller, not only of the merchandise, but just as like a park icon himself. Just kind of like the leader of the park. Like when I was a kid, I used to think, well, Mickey's kind of in charge of Magic Kingdom. Figment's in charge of Epcot, and Kermit is in charge of like Hollywood Studios. This was before Animal Kingdom. I always like to think they had meetings together. For some odd reason, Winnie the Pooh was there. I don't know why, but in my brain, he was. Anyway, but Figment, I think there's a really good chance that they really decide to like go crazy with this. And from the host they have this year, and from some other things, like some real diehard love for Figment, the comics keep coming out. And again, it's a merchandising opportunity, which I really come back to a lot of the times when these ideas are made, is that a lot of it in my brain comes back to this just sells better. And we'll talk about one of those attractions coming up too. And that's where it's like, Rivers of America didn't sell super well. Cars, on the other hand, that sells. That sells a lot. So, yeah, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's just kind of the vibe I get from it. But yeah, I think Figment, it might be Figment's year. I think it might be Figment's year, which is kind of crazy. And it's been like 20 years since Figment had his year. Well, not even that. Anyway, Hollywood Studios, moving down the line though, I think we're going to focus mostly on Monsters, Inc. I think we're going to get a lot more information about that roller coaster, the door coaster, as it were. I think from what I'm hearing too and what I'm seeing is like this might not be the full wish fulfillment that we all think of. Like when you watch that movie and you see that giant factory, you kind of get this idea in your head it's going to be one way or another. And I don't think it's going to be as big as that, unfortunately, but I'm still hoping that they can pull it off and you can go through doors into different like vignettes or tableaus, as it were. But we'll see. I don't know. And then also, I think we're going to get some information on what's going on in that Muppet Vision Theater, the Glob Theater, like the Globe Theater. You get it? But I think we'll probably get some information, hopefully, on that, because that's something that's kind of lingering, and it's like, we should probably talk about that, because people want to talk about that. Last up for the Walt Disney World Parks, Animal Kingdom. It's Tropical Americas. We're definitely going to get some information, again, more concrete information on Encanto and the ride over there. I think it's just, we need to see it. We need to know some more. I think we're going to, we might even see some demos of animatronics, stuff like that. I think we'll finally have a little bit more of a feeling for what that's going to look like. Also, talking about merchandising, you know what sells better than dinosaurs? Indiana Jones, which kills me because I absolutely love Dinosaur. I have a video coming out about that soon. But yeah, Indiana Jones Adventure, Temple of or the Aztec Temple of Destiny with a giant lizard thing in there. I think they missed a trick by not sending Indy back in the past to run around with dinosaurs. I mean, it would have saved money and everyone would have been happy. It's fine, whatever. It's okay. I don't care. I don't know. Maybe they'll just reskin Aladar, put some feathers on him. But yeah, I think we're going to get a lot more information on that for sure. Knowing more because all that stuff is coming up. And yeah, I think for some of these things, probably phased openings like for Tropical Americas and Monsters, Inc. Unfortunately, I do not like a phased opening of a land. It really frustrates me. I understand the idea of trying to get some cash flow back in right away, but yeah, it's just, I like to have it all open at the same time, personally. Moving over to Disneyland, I'm going to start with DCA, weirdly. They're going to talk about Coco and Avatar, for sure. I think Coco has been coming along really nicely. And I think we're going to get more concrete details. We've kind of seen some images, or we have that kind of picture of the boat ride, which they need more boat rides. And it sounds like between that and maybe Avatar, which might be using the same tech as that Shanghai Pirates. Yeah, just big boat rides. Every park needs a giant boat ride. And DCA is now going to get not one, but two, I believe. And I'm excited to see that because they need it. And Coco, a perfect fit. Yeah, California Adventure keeps changing, and eventually it will not be anything related to California anymore. But Disneyland proper, raise Tomorrowland to the ground. Okay, maybe that's too much, but that is my dream. Disneyland has done a lot of overlays, done a lot of changes, updates and stuff. Please, Disney, now is the time. Now is the best time. Now is the best time of your life. Raise it to the ground. Give me a new Carousel of Progress over there. Give me People Mover, baby. You know you can do it. I believe in you. Just make a tunnel to Space Mountain, like while you're doing construction. People can still go around Space Mountain. But yeah, raise Tomorrowland to the ground. It's time. And if anyone says like, oh, it's just too hard to do, it was an orange grove for so long, or a field of oranges before Walt got there. So I don't know. I'm just saying. And they're like, well, we just can't do it. I'm like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Anyway, that's. I do want to throw this in at the very end here. I want to kind of make this video quick. But my dream scenario, I don't think they have the room for it. But at Magic Kingdom, make Pirates of the Caribbean as long as the one in Disneyland. Doesn't even need to be exactly the same as that, but just make it longer, make it bigger, so that way people don't keep saying, well, the one in Disneyland is better. Yes, the one in Disneyland is better. Of course it is. Apparently the one in Paris is fantastic too. I've seen videos of it. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe one day. One day we will. I'll get there. But just like, come on, just do it. Guys, come on. There's got to be a way to do this. There has to be a way. I just don't believe it. And you know, I made that joke earlier, but yeah, let's give every pavilion in Epcot a dark ride. I made a video about this ages ago. Just come on, Disney, please. It's sitting right there. I don't know. Yeah, I digress. Again, some of those are just crazy out there things. And I wanted to stick most of the parks that I know here in the U.S. I don't know a lot about the cruise lines or the parks abroad, but yeah, I want to try this out, make this video, and then I will make another one to come back to and kind of say, like, here's what they said, and then here's how right and how for sure wrong I probably was too. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you to the people supporting the channels, to the memberships here on YouTube, and the patrons. Thank you, patrons. You guys are amazing. If you want to help support more videos like this, I kind of want to start doing more like these occasionally once we're kind of moving past, not finishing the vlogs, but along with the vlogs and other things. Yeah, I appreciate you. So thank you, patrons. Thank you, channel members. Thank you for just watching. And please, please, please leave in the comments below what you think is going to happen, what you wish would happen. Tell me your dreams, and we'll see. Maybe something will happen. I don't know. I'm hoping anything can happen at D23. But also remember, they can say things and they might not happen either. So just bag of salt. You know, they say that this is like they're building the magic now, or the dreams are coming true now. It's not just blue sky, but just until you're riding the ride. Oh yeah, Villains Land. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. Villains. They're going to talk about Villains Land over at Magic Kingdom. They have to. They have to. Either way, until next time, everybody, just remember to adapt and overcome. Bye-bye.